Welcome back to my channel. I am Alexis and today I'm going to be showing you guys how to make these cute little pumpkin granny squares. I have been seeing all over my Instagram, yes, just Instagram because I'm lame, all of these cute fall projects that everybody is starting because apparently it's fall now. I live in Florida, so is it ever going to be fall? Probably not. But I was just making a little fall inspired project because I can dream. And I wanted to make something with like a pumpkin granny square. But I was researching and I just couldn't find anything that was like what I was picturing in my head. I tried some different patterns. I made my own and I hated them all. So it took a lot of different prototypes to get to here, but I wrote it down, I kept going, and I ended up with a pattern that I actually think is really cute. Just a couple things before we get into the tutorial. I'm the only person who has tested this version that I created. So if you're using a different type of yarn that might be thicker or thinner, or using different hooks, I don't know how it would turn out, but I think as long as you're either steaming or wet blocking your project, I think it'll still turn out good. It just might be a different size than what I created here. So yeah, just a little warning, but I think no matter what you do, it'll still look like a pumpkin. So without further ado, let's make some pumpkins. Okay, so starting off with a few of the colors I'm going to be using. For my white, I'm going to be using the Yarn Bee Pearl Spun and the color Pearl. Here's some of the info if you want to see that. For my orange, sorry, there's a bunch of scraps up here. I'm going to be using I Love This Yarn in the color Desert Glaze. I've already used a bunch of it, if you can tell. I'm a little sad. And then I'm using this brown. Oh. It's also Yarn Bee. It's the color Coffee and the Fundamental Cotton. And I got all of this yarn from Hobby Lobby. So, for materials, you're gonna need just something to cut your yarn with, something to weave in your ends with, and for me, I'm using two different hooks. I am using this 4mm hook for my orange, and I'm using the 3.5 for the white. You'll also need your needle to sew on your little pumpkin stem. So, let's get started. And we're gonna start with a magic circle. If you wanted to do like the chain 2 or 4 method, whatever, that's fine, but I like the magic circle. Also guys, I know my hands and my nails are crusty. I haven't gotten a chance to do them yet. So we're just gonna take our tail end of our yarn and just have it coming at us at this, I guess, left type of angle. And we're going to take the rest of our yarn and we're going to kind of loop it over like this. Do that one more time. Here's our tail end. We're just going to come over like this. Now we're going to take our hook and we're going to go under this. And we're going to pull our strand of yarn up under. So it's crossed over. We're gonna go under this right here, pull this through, okay? Now we've got our loop with our first little It's not really anything yet, but we've got this looped right here. Now we're going to chain 3. Okay, now if your loop is really big and this little tail is really small, you can just go ahead and pull on it, shorten this and make it a little easier. And we're going to do 10 double crochets. Now, if any of you haven't worked with the magic circle yet, you're going to want to do all of your double crochets on top of this thread. So you're gonna yarn over, pull up 1, yarn over again, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So that's 1. And you'll see, hopefully you're able to see, I worked that double crochet on top of this one and this one. That way when we pull it, all of our stitches are going to be on this. Okay, so we'll do that one more time. Yarn over, pull up 1, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Okay, so we're just going to do that 8 more times. Now we're going to take this piece of yarn that we were just crocheting over, and we're going to pull that all the way. Make sure it's nice and tight without breaking it off. And that looks pretty good. So we're going to get our loop back on our hook here, and we're going to go into the 3rd chain in this chain 3. So we've got 1, 2, here's our 3rd one. And we're just gonna make a little slip stitch to connect this. Okay. Okay, so 2 options here. One is a lot less complicated. You can do a chain 3 to start this next row off. Or there's another way that kind of makes your start of row look a little bit more like a double crochet. And you're just going to pull this up a little higher, almost about the size of your double crochet, and you're going to hold it. And you're going to, almost like you're yarning over, you're going to go underneath it. You're going to yarn over and pull your hook back through. So you have 2 loops over here, and you can see it kind of, when you pull it through, it goes like in between your little twist. So you'll have 2 on the hook and pull through. Now, if that's a little too complicated for right now, I just learned this as well, and it was a little bit of a learning curve to get it just right. A chain 3 is perfectly fine. That's what I did on a couple of my pumpkins before I saw this, so it definitely will not be much of a change if you just do a regular chain 3. So, depending on whether you did a chain 3 or you just did this little fake double crochet here, we are going to double crochet twice in every stitch around, so we should have 20. And hopefully, if this video isn't too long, I'll keep this in real time so you guys can just work with me. Try not to go too fast so some people can still see what I'm doing. And again, this is the same stitch we did down here, just 2 in each. So I've got 4 right now. Okay, so this is where our chain 3 / our little fake double crochet came up. So we're not going to be putting anything in this last little stitch right here. You guys make sure you have 20. And if you guys are ready, we're just going to chain or slip stitch into either our little fake double crochet or a chain 3. If you've got your chain 3, you're just gonna slip stitch into the 3rd chain. If you're with me, you still can see your little V on this little fake one, so it's still good. I'll just take a second. Okay. And we're just gonna slip stitch. Okay. Now we're getting to the more pumpkin-y part of our adventure, okay? We're going to chain only 1 this time. Just chain 1. Now in the first chain thing, what is this called? A stitch or a chain? Stitch, probably. Can you guys tell I've never made a tutorial about anything ever? Because I can. We're just gonna go in and we're gonna make a regular single crochet, just 1. Then we're gonna jump to a double crochet in the 2nd stitch. Now in the next stitch, we're gonna do 2 double crochets. And you'll see this kind of becomes a little pattern. So we did our 2 double crochets. Now next stitch is 1 double crochet. Then we're gonna go back to 2. Then we're gonna do 1. And then for our last, we're gonna do 2. So 1 and 2. So then for the next stitch, we're gonna go back down to a single crochet. And then we're gonna slip stitch 4 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4 will all be slip stitches. Okay, so here's our single crochet. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 slip stitches. Now we're just gonna do the same thing we did over here, so it'll be like kind of in reverse. Let me pull some more yarn. Okay, so we're gonna go back to our single crochet. Then we're gonna do 2 double crochets in this 1 stitch right here. Then we're gonna do 1 in this stitch. And then we're gonna do 2 in the next stitch. Then we're gonna do 1. Then we're gonna do our last 2 in this stitch. Then we're gonna do 1 more double crochet in this stitch right here. That's our end of the double crochets. So in this next stitch, we're gonna do just a regular single crochet. And that's it for our pumpkin. So the way I like to finish this off is just leave it right here. Come leave a decent sized tail and just snip that off right there. And go ahead and from your single crochet, just pull it out, just like that. We're gonna go ahead and put this on our needle. You got your single crochet right here. It's okay if it's a little loose, it's not. It's fine right now. You see how we have this stitch right here. This is kind of the beginning area, and this was our chain 1. So you got this stitch and then your chain 1, because we can see that this one is our single crochet. So what you're going to want to do is go into the single crochet underneath, and then once you've got that thread underneath, it'll kind of look like this underneath both of the loops, and you're going to come back to our chain 1 over here, and we're going to go back loop. And then you're going to pull this a little tight, then you can like stretch it out just a little bit, and you can see how that just kind of connects it by making it look like one little stitch right here. Looks really seamless, so you don't have that little knot if you're just yarning over and pulling all the way through the regular way that I know a lot of us do for other projects. I personally do it. Okay, I'm going to put my orange yarn away for now, and we're gonna move on to our white yarn. I got like this little bit of leftover, so I'm hoping that's gonna be enough. And I've got a little pumpkin right here. Here's the top. Now I'm gonna be switching out my 4 for my 3.5. I personally am just doing this because it better matches the gauge for some other granny squares I made for a project that hopefully you guys will be seeing sometime soon. Hopefully, I really hope that this is enough. Oh my goodness. If it's not, it's fine. So, this is our top. We can see that little stitch that we like created when we finished. So we're going to turn it upside down to start this. So what you're going to want to do is find those 4 slip stitches. So here's our single crochet. So that means this 1, 2, 3, 4. These are our slip stitches. And we're going to make a standing double crochet in the 3rd slip stitch. So to do that, you're going to hold your yarn with your tail facing you. Okay, it's over here. You don't want it down here because it'll make it kind of weird. So facing you underneath your hook, you're gonna yarn over twice. So it should look like this. Now you're gonna go ahead and come over here, and you're gonna find the 3rd slip stitch. So like I said, here's our single crochet. So 1, 2, 3. And for this first row, we're going to be doing back loop only. That way it creates that little bit of an outline whenever we have our border fully done. You see how you can see this first stitch all the way around? It just kind of looks nicer to make it a little more defined. Okay, so we've got the 2 loops right here. We're still holding our yarn towards us in the front, and we've got our yarn back here. I'm just gonna yarn over and pull up, and this should look kind of familiar. It's kind of like a double crochet, it's just there's nothing connected right here. So you're gonna want to make sure you're holding your yarn the whole time, otherwise it'll get kind of slippy. So you're just gonna yarn over and pull through 2 like regular, and then you're gonna yarn over and pull through 2. Just like that. Now you could let your yarn go. I hold it for a couple stitches and then I forget about it just because I don't know. That's what I do. So now we're gonna make 2 more double crochets, just 1 in each stitch, back loop only. So we got 1 and 2. And you see how, you know, you let it go, it's not going anywhere, it's just in your mind. So you got these 2 plus our standing. The next one, we're going to double crochet 3 times in the same stitch. Okay, so 1, 2, and 3. So you've got 3 of these in the same stitch. Next, we're going to do a half double crochet. So you're just going to yarn over and pull up, and you're going to pull your yarn through all 3. Boom. Okay, boom. Now we're going to do just a regular single crochet 4 times. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now, just like the beginning, we're going to put our half double crochet right here in the next stitch. And remember, we're working in the back loops. And then we're going to double crochet 3 times in the same stitch. Okay, I got my 3. Now we're going to double crochet all the way across 5 times. Okay, so you got 1, 2. You got this little loop that we created when we finished our pumpkin. And then we got 2 again. And we're just going to double crochet all the way across. Okay, we got our 5. Now we're going to do the 3 double crochets and 1 stitch again right here. Okay, we got our 3. And we're going to go back down to a half double crochet. So just yarn over, pull up 1, and go through all 3. Then we're going to do our 4 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4. And again, our half double crochet. Now we've come back to another corner. We're going to do 3 double crochets in this 1 stitch. Back loops, guys, okay? Back loops. Okay, now we're just gonna do 3 double crochets to meet up right where we started. Oh. Might run out of yarn. Oh lordy. Okay, and now we're just gonna slip stitch to connect these. You're gonna want to hold on to your yarn when you do this, because when you go into this first little stitch, it will pull your yarn. So just hang on to it. It'll loosen up, but it's fine. And just find your little V and make a slip stitch in there. And then again, to start the next row, you can either chain 3, or you can do the same method that we did down here. Pull your yarn up a little bit, twist it around kind of like you're yarning over. Yarn over onto your hook and just pull straight through. So you can see the yarn is like in between these 2 right here. And you're just going to pull through these 2 loops on your hook. and you got your little fake double crochet. Honestly, I do think I kind of like it more, oh lord, what I do, than the chain 3. I think it maybe blends in just a little more, but I don't think the chain 3 looks bad or anything. So feel free to use whichever method you'd like. Now for this outer row, I only do 2 rows for mine, so it's just this one and the one we're about to do. We're going to double crochet until we get to this middle stitch right here, the middle of our 3 double crochets. So we're gonna do, and once we're up here, we don't need to worry about back loop only, so we're just doing regular double crochets until that second of our 3 double crochets. So that's 3, and now we've made it to the middle. We're going to double crochet twice in this stitch. 1 and 2. Then we're going to chain 2. Okay? 1, 2, and we're going to double crochet 2 more times in the same stitch. I know it's a little crowded, but it'll look good, trust me. And you can see how that corner is a lot sharper and more defined. Looks nice. Okay, now for these sides, we're only doing a half double crochet all the way down. No switching up though, just halves all the way down. Oof. Oh goodness gracious. I think half double crochet is like my least favorite stitch. Gotta be honest. Okay, and we got one more. And now we've come back to the middle of our 3 double crochets. And we're gonna do the same thing that we did over here. We're gonna do 2 double crochets. We're gonna chain 2, and we're gonna do 2 more double crochets in the same stitch. Can you guys see how dangerously little yarn I have left? Oh my goodness. You know what? I might be able to make it. Okay, so we've got our corner. Now across this side, we're just gonna do double crochets. I did it this way to make the shape more square. Since this is so long over here, we're not gonna need the sides to be as big. You know, we're gonna work more up here. So the bottom and the top are all double crochets, and the sides are half double crochets. If you've noticed, I've definitely kept the sides smaller in both rounds, because we did the single crochets on the sides over here, and now we're just doing the half double crochets on the sides on this round. Hope you guys saw that. I didn't realize I was holding it down so far. So just double crochets all the way down to our next corner. And remember, we're just working in both loops now. We don't have to do back loop only. That was just for our pumpkin round. Okay, now we're at our third. We're gonna do our 2 double crochets. We're gonna chain 2. And we're going to do 2 more in the same stitch. Okay, now we're back on the side. So half double crochets all the way down. Whenever you guys finish your corners, don't forget to pull it back a little bit because we still have this one right here. Sometimes it can be a little hidden back there, so don't forget about him or her or them. But it's yarn, so I don't think it really cares. Oh. Okay, one more. And we're back to the middle stitch. So we'll go ahead and make another corner. 2 double crochets, chain 2, and 2 more in the same stitch. And we're back to our beginning round. So we'll just double crochet back to here. Oh my goodness. Oh wait. Okay, if you guys can hear my brother, I'm sorry. Oh wow. Perfect. Also, I forgot to do it again. Oh my gosh, guys, if you're on the second round, definitely try and crochet over this. That's so annoying. Can you see that? Crochet over this tail. Okay. We just did our last double crochet right here. Like we did down there, I'm just going to take it and pull it all the way through. We're going to get this on our needle. Oh, birds. Oh. Yeah, this might take a while. Oh, come on. Oh man. Oh no, I definitely missed one. Oh, okay, good enough. Okay. I can't remember. I think for this one, I'm not gonna go into our stitch right here. I'm gonna go into our next one. So you see how we have our little standing? Instead of going into here, I'm gonna go into our second. Under both loops, all the way back, pull that a little bit, and come into the back loop of our last double crochet. Pull it all the way through, and just adjust until it looks how you'd like. It looks okay. Sometimes it looks a little funky, but it's okay. Now we're just gonna come weave it in, make a little knot somewhere, just for a little extra security. I like to just come down to this orange right here, and that's where I make my knot. Okay, well, I literally just took the worst videos in the world of me steaming that. Like every time I tried to show something, it was not in the camera at all. But hopefully I got something good. But as you guys can see, it's a lot more pumpkin now, isn't it? It's not just a weird ball. Okay, you need your needle and you need some brown. This part is a little self-explanatory, you know? You're just kind of making a stem. But I don't know. I figured oh my god. I figured maybe I should show because I don't know, maybe someone really is curious as to how I do this. But it's kind of just finding your own way that you like, you know? So, I do come up here a little bit and I'll weave in a couple times and I'll come up and leave just a little tail, and I'll make a knot before I start actually making the little stem. I'm sure you could also do this in green too. That might look good. I just thought brown was more like fall-y, like not like a fresh pumpkin, you know? So I just did that, kind of like opposite weaving in your ends, just making a little bit of a more sturdy start. Then I'll come out here, and this is the middle. So I just like coming into this one right next to this stitch, and then going into the one right in front of it. And just make a little line that I can follow. And then I also like doing the same at the top. I'll just come in somewhere that kind of lines up with the bottom. I'll go like kind of maybe I'll go right here. And you know, this is really easy to just take out and undo if you don't like how it looks. So for me personally, I found that I kind of just like going up and down all the way across. I did do one that was like this way. It's kind of just personal taste, you know, whatever is easier for you. Okay, I think this is it. This is our finished granny square. And you know, you can steam it as many times as you need to. I might steam this one again to get like a little more stretch and make the edges a little more straight, like all the same length, you know? But it's cute. It's a little pumpkin. Wow. Okay guys, I think that pretty much wraps up our video. I hope that you ended up with something that actually looks like a pumpkin. I hope you guys had a fun time creating, and I hope you guys find some cool fall projects that you can use with your little pumpkin granny squares. Maybe a sweater, maybe a blanket, maybe a pillow. I saw some little fall granny square pillows going around, and those look really cute. I bet this would be like really cute for a little fall pillow. But yeah, if you guys have any questions or comments, maybe advice for me on how you felt about this tutorial, or some advice, you know, having to do with pattern creations, I'd love to know. Let me know in the comments what you think. And happy making! I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!